Welcome to another day of the acute side of math. I'm Meredith, and I've given you guys a nickname. You guys are going to be called the Folders, and that just gives me a tiny bit of happiness. uh, because this is going to be the first time we're like legitimately folding to fold. Let's do this. First, we're going to do a bit review on those terms that we learned during our first meeting, and let's get to it. All right, let's just go through this video really quickly and let's just take it in together. So a point, you guys see, is just a normal point, no weight, size, or any other thing. You have a line. It goes infinite in either direction. It's straight, no curves. Line segment, they have ends. There's a point on either side. Array is there's one end and then the other side it behaves like a line where it goes infinitely in the other direction. You have a circle, which is an infinite number of points that have the same distance from the center, and that center distance is called the radius. Parallel lines are two lines that go infinitely in both directions, but they never intersect. If you were to measure them, it's going to be the same distance between the whole thing. Perpendicular, the angle between them, they're 90 degrees. There. The first axiom is things which are equal to the same thing are equal to the other. If equals be added to equals, the wholes are equal. Third axiom. If equals be subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Fourth axiom. Things which coincide to one another are equal to one another. Fifth axiom. The whole is greater than the part. First postulate. You can join any 2 points using exactly one line, which is also known as a line segment. Second postulate. You can extend any line segment into an infinitely long line. Third postulate. Given a point P and a radius R, you can draw a circle with center P and distance R. Fourth postulate. All right angles are equal to each other. Fifth postulate. Given a line L and a point P not on L, there is exactly one line that goes through P that is parallel to L. That's it. That was pretty straightforward, right? And do you remember the terms that we used when we were drawing the Nepalese flag? A new one that I didn't include there that I should is bisect. So when you bisect something, you're cutting it exactly in half. And that's just a really useful term instead of saying cutting it in half, cutting it in half. 5 syllables to bisect. 3. Math. And we did parallels, we did perpendicular, we also did rays where we went past the line, and we did a lot of points, yeah. Arcs, semicircles, triangles. Yeah, that was I really enjoyed doing the Nepalese flag. I would love to see your guys's if possible. But let's talk about what we're going to do today. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over some common folds and some origami terminology. And for this, you really just need some scratch paper. Oh, and this is filming my hands. And if it looks like it's cutting my face, like right here, I think, then it's totally cool. I'll just look more like a robot. One of the first folds we're going to learn right now is the mountain fold. And we're just going to note how that looks. So we're just, right now, let's just fold this in half. And depending on which way you're looking at it, that's going to determine a specific term. If it's like this, where you see the peak is up, then this is called a mountain fold. Mountain folds have creases at the top and allow the edges of the paper to drop when the paper is unfolded. In many origami diagrams, a dotted dashed line like this will represent a mountain. So if you guys see right here, it looks like a little mountain. But if you actually turn it the other way, it's now something else. It's called a valley fold. And the valley fold, it's represented as a dashed line, just like this. And what you're doing is you're kind of sandwiching things in it. So when you look at it inward, it means it's folded inward. This is a mountain, it's folded outwards. And that's just what you're going to be seeing, because you're going to see that you're going to have some mountains and maybe valleys like this. Well, where you'll have a mountain, a valley. Well, let's just give it another valley. So if you look at it from this perspective, you have a valley, a mountain, a valley. But if you turn it over, you have a mountain, a valley, a mountain. And you can really see that right here. You see that you have a mountain, a valley, and then a mountain. So now I'm going to show you guys something called a squash fold. So if you see with this paper, all I've done is I folded it into two right triangles right here. You know, corners touching, opposite corners touching, and prepping it to do a squash fold. So next what I'm going to do is, now that it's at this position, I'm going to fold it downward like this so that peak and peak touch. And we have this, so the squash fold is when, squash fold is when you have it like this. Oh, it really does help to fold it both ways so that it kind of. So we folded it once this way, and then I just softened the fold again, and I turned it around and did it the other way too. And then from that, I'm going to have these two, they're now mountain folds. I'm going to pinch this side, have these two, and then squash it down like that. And this is a squash fold. Very cool. Let's do it with this side too. So just another demonstration. Right here, squash fold part 2. You're going to bring this down to the peak. We're going to kind of refold this on the other side. We're going to open up this little pocket, push down, and right there, you have your squash fold. So what that's doing is it's changing this from a mountain fold. You see it's a mountain fold. It's going to change it to a valley fold. Ta-da! Right here. And now you have this cool little number. That's it. Origami done. Just kidding. This is an origami that my, at the time, brother's girlfriend, my future sister-in-law, taught me when I was like, I don't know, 10 or something. I remember we went jet skiing, and she's like, hey, do you know how to do this? I'm like, no. And what do you know? 85 years later, I can still do it. I don't know how many of you guys like to do origami before you kicked into this class. Using that same paper, I've just made an origami that I have done in the past and that I'm familiar with. It's going to be a sunflower. Right here, I don't know, we could probably speed up when I was doing it, but right here you see I have these four kind of, they look like blades right here. And I'm just pushing this down and I'm just going to squash this. Doing the same thing here. And I'm doing the same thing on all of these. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to put these towards the center. I'm going to do this while holding them down to reinforce their crease. The lips. So there's different types of origami. Origami typically doesn't have anything to do with cutting, but you could cut with origami. So we have this, and now we're going to do the petal fold. I've just started, and I did this origami that I'm somewhat familiar with. It's going to be a sunflower. I learned this a while back. And now what I'm going to do is a petal fold. Well, I'll just keep doing this. And then we'll do the lily. I remember for one of my mom's birthdays, I didn't have any money. So what I did is I'm like, Mom, what do you want for your birthday? And she's like, I want to go to the moon. Never mind. That would be just for me. But then, okay, isn't that a really gnarly looking sunflower? You could probably put glue or stick a pin in there so that it stays. I love it in black. It looks really cool in black. Okay. So these were cut. They were like 9 by 16, I think, or maybe 12. Oh no, 13. Something not A size or B size. But the way you know you cut it correctly is if you're able to line this up at these two edges. You want to press down. Oh, I'm gonna press down on that. Go there to the center, and then boop. Dang! Look at that! Look how pointy that is. If this had a little if it wasn't folded at the point, then it'd be bad cut or a bad fold. And look at same deal with the other side. The other way of doing a squash fold is how I normally do it. Is I just get it, I lay one triangle flat, and then I bring the other ones there, and I try to flatten this guy out. Oops. think I did it right. The other way is probably more precise. And then after that, what I do is see how this has no crease. I flip that over. And then here. So this is how I folded it. You see I have a bunch of valleys. And when it's like this, you can only do triangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it inside out. And now I have like valleys and peaks. Did that do anything? Well, it's a square now, not a triangle. Here you have valleys, peaks. This way. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Then you go the other way. Isn't that gnarly? That's so cool. So right here. So you're right here, and I use this just to make this pointed. And you want this line to be in the center. You kind of want it to follow this line like this. And then after you think you have it centered, right there. And you're going to do that with practically, is this the petal fold? This might be the petal fold. Same deal. I'm doing the one on the exact opposite end. So I could use the first petal as a kind of guide. Yeah, this is a petal fold because it looks like a kite. You see how it kind of looks like a kite? This is a petal fold, and you use this guy for a petal fold. So then you have this one right here. I'm going to put this guy over here at the end. And I'm just going to kind of line this up, push it down, reinforce those back creases, turn it over, have it sort of laid up. This is a lily. Oh. So check this out. What you're going to do is you are going to, honestly, you could probably use this crease, but it's better to do this anyways. You're going to fold these bottom edges, they're open, and you're going to fold this edge to this line. And you want them to be right on top of each other. Let's same deal. It's going to meet it at that little mountain peak. Okay. And then from there, you're going to kind of fold these corners in, like right where that's at, so that there's like a little guide. You're going to open this. You're going to open this. And then you're going to put this peak at the top right there and make these into mountain folds. Same deal here. Hold this down and just kind of guide the folds so that it looks like a little kite. This is also a petal fold. Tiny kite. Same deal right here. So right now I'm just going to kind of shortcut it in that I'm going to just put this straight up there. Like that. And this is a mountain fold. Right there. It's a tiny little shortcut. Same deal here. But do you see how that I did a shortcut, but it looks like horrible? Shortcuts don't always pay off. Let's do it right there. Vamos a ver lo que pasa. So let's put this up here. Again, shortcuts don't always pay off. So now next step is putting all these little things down. Bring this down. Like that. So now you have these little creases. What you're going to do is you're going to put this inside like that. Same deal. This part's a little tough because we really gotta. So again, this is why I don't like construction paper too much. One is really thick, but it's also like weirdly soft. Okay, so the next step is you hold it like this. And you can use this to wrap it around. Well, that's supposed to be a lily, but it doesn't want to conform because it's construction paper. Okay, so this was a short one. I really just want to go over the material, the real meat of it. So for next week, not next week, for the next time we meet, we're gonna learn about platonic solids, and that's a really important part of geometry. Um, in Euclid's The Elements, he does go over a few of the platonic solids, and we're going to be attempting to do at least 3 of them. We're just going to see how it goes. But what I do want to show you guys what to do now is I want to show you guys something called the Sonobe unit. Now the Sonobe unit is this one type of fold, and it's a single origami piece, but this is just a part of it. And when you have more than one part in an origami, it's called modular origami. As you guys can see, it's a parallelogram, and it's really simple to make. This is when I was practicing. I made a bunch of small ones to connect them. So let's get started. So let's start on a fresh one. We'll do this for another one. But I'm just gonna do this on this giant piece of cardstock. If we were to do them all in this size, it'd be very big. But you know what? If you want to do it a big one, that'd be really cool. I'd love to see that. Maybe I should just try to do it. I don't know. We'll see. So for this, what you want to do is you want to fold this in half. And again, you want to line up the corners and the edges to have it nice and straight. And then fold it downward. And then you see you have a peak right there. You're going to do another valley fold. And since sometimes it's hard for me to see the crease, what I do is I just open this and I just kind of get it to nudge in there, and then I want that to be straight. So then right here, now we're going to do the same on this side. And we have folded this page into quarters, right? First we did halves and now we did quarters. Sorry. So now we're still looking at it. Our valley folds are, we're looking straight at them. They're not horizontal, they're vertical to us. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get this corner and we're going to do a 90-degree fold on this little ear, and it's going to fold to this crease, to this quarter crease that we made. And I'm just folding it in there just to make sure. And then same deal here. Right there. And now what you're going to do is you're going to fold them both inward like this. I'm recording, right? Okay. And now you should have something that looks like this, where you have you have one folded corner inside on the left and a folded corner inside on the right. If you were to turn around, same deal. It's just lovely. So now what you're going to do is this piece that isn't folded or anything, you're going to move this one and you're going to fold it to your right. And you want it to have like that peak right there. And you see how it kind of buckles? That happens a lot for me. And what you want to do is you want to have these kind of touch as close as you can, but it's okay if it doesn't. It's just one part of it. You mostly just need to get the general shape of it. So now, right now, you see we do have that parallelogram shape, but if we let go, it kind of unfolds. What we're going to do is we're going to have it so that it doesn't unfold. And these edges that pop out, you're going to tuck them in. You're going to have it like that. And then after that, what you want is at this corner, you want to make a right triangle right here. It's going to be 90 degrees. This is going to align with this. So you kind of just want to eyeball, you kind of just want to eyeball where this is at. And maybe pinch this down. Right there, just like that. So you see we're folding this inward where it's a flat face. These pockets right here on the outer. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. So yeah, now you have this. Cool little parallelogram. We're going to let me just make another one right here with this one when we were explaining peaks and valleys. I'm just going to do the image of this fold, just look at all valleys. I should have just flipped the page since I only had to fold it once. Oh, sorry. I didn't need to do that one. Right here. See? Gotcha. Ya ves otra vez que no se andan conociendo. Pero no importa. Okay. We have it right there. We're going to tuck this one in here. We're going to tuck this guy. Yeah, like that. So for one of them, you're going to need like 6, and then another one, I think it's 12. I'll see if I can find a cube to utilize this specific unit. But how these works are you'll just be tucking them inward, or maybe it's like this. So this flap is perpendicular to this one, and it just fits nice in there. I can make a cube with this. Okay, I guess we'll keep on going. We'll continue with that one next time. All right. Thank you guys again. Have let's see, about at least 20 squares, or maybe have at least 30 squares. Again, they don't need to be as big as this. This is like 9 by 9 or 9.5 by 9.5. You can have, for this size, this tiny little one. So yeah, this is the stuff I've made. You have this tiny little cube, which is made with exactly the same size as this one. And right here, I think this one was 6. You have the tetrahedron. This was made out of, I think this is made out of just one. Yeah, this is one page. This is, I think it's a isodecahedron. We'll go over the nomenclature of the words so that you can be able to decipher them and maybe create some of your own. That'd be really cool if you guys could create your own origami pieces. This one I think took 12. Same thing with this. So imagine if we were to use something like this. That'd be really cool. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh no, it's about 2.5 times larger. That's really cool. This is the tetrahedron. This was only 2. I made this one with construction paper, and you see how it like always wants to come undone. These ones I made with scrap printer paper. This one was specifically an origami paper, and it is delicate, but it was very easy to fold. I was just kind of worried with pressing and like finishing out the edges. With the printer paper, not so much. I was able to use as much force as I wanted because I'm strong. But yeah, this is a pretty sturdy thing right here. So I'll see you guys next time. Let's do this. I'm ready to do some more origami. And then for week 3, we're going to be going with we're going to be going with origami in nature and in technology and modern science now, which is beyond interesting. I'll see you guys next week. Send me pictures of what you guys found, any origami pieces that you guys have already done. That'd be really great to see. Bye.